All right, week 5 of college football. Let's start in Boulder.
Yeah.
Ted, it's pretty hard to go win a game on the road, have your quarterback throw for 6 touchdowns, score 48 points, and walk out of there feeling really shitty about your football team.
I know.
It's hard to do.
I
But
know.
somehow the USC Trojans figured out how to do it. Ted, how about that?
Man, it's wild. I know how they feel, right? It that's the exact football game that we played for most of the last decade or close to it, 7, 8 years, right? Score a bunch of points, quarterback go out there, set all kinds of records and numbers and stats and hang on to win by a score.
Yeah, it did. It looked like USC was going to score 80 in this game with how this thing started, but we knew Caleb Williams, who, by the way, so good. I mean, just so good. And
hey, I thought Shedeur Sanders had the throw of the game. That laser beam he threw on the run to the back of the end zone. Oh my God, that play was incredible.
Yeah, he had some great plays. But that USC offense, right? We knew they were going to score on that Colorado defense. There was no doubt about that. The question was, what would USC's defense do? Would they be able to put a good performance together against an offense that just got dominated by Oregon? And that's not what happened, right? It was Caleb Williams hit Brennan Rice on that slant, which what a route by Rice, but that made it 41-14. And here's what Colorado's offense did the rest of the way. 5 plays, touchdown. 5 plays, touchdown. 11 plays, touchdown. Turnover on downs. Shedeur Sanders, you got to throw it. It's 4th down, man. Get rid of it. Give a guy a chance. But next drive, 10 plays, touchdown. Now, last drive, you got to operate with a little more urgency. Colorado, I don't know what that was. That was strange, right? But it was touchdown, 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 turnover on downs, touchdown to finish the game for Colorado. That's not what good teams do, right, when it comes to finishing games. And Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch had to walk out of there going, what the hell? I mean, the USC defense, USC is exactly what we thought they were. Caleb Williams is amazing. He's got great weapons. They're going to score a bunch of points, and the defense is an issue. I mean, that's what they are as a football team.
Yeah. No, I agree. And here's the problem for Lincoln Riley. I know everyone across the country is, oh, Alex Grinch is terrible. How's he still the DC there? This is unbelievable. Lincoln Riley there's a perception problem. The perception is that Lincoln Riley just does not care about defense. They don't dedicate any resources to defense. They don't recruit defense. And their defense is terrible and is always going to be terrible. And it's not true. They're trying to recruit those guys. They're trying to get those guys in the portal. The problem is that everyone believes that to be true. So if you're getting recruited by USC and you're a top defensive player, everyone around you is saying, they don't care about defense there. You can't go play there. Why would you go play at a place they don't care about defense? And they don't get those guys. It's this cycle that I don't know that Lincoln Riley's ever going to be able to get out of, because that narrative is going to follow him everywhere he goes.
Well, this is something I was thinking about as I watched how the end of this game unfolded, right? Lincoln he's gone after O linemen and D linemen via the portal, right? And they've landed some guys. Mm-hmm. They absolutely have. But you know who's going to be after those guys this offseason? Colorado, Coach Prime.
Mhm.
And now, like the way that this game finished, he got a lot of ammo to go on the recruiting trail, dive into the portal and go, no. Hey, USC ain't it. Come to Colorado. We're having more fun, right? We're the big, like, no brand is more popular right now in college football than us. Come here, start right away. Like, don't go play in Alex Grinch's defense. You don't want to do that. How long's he even going to be there?
Yeah.
Like that, the way that this game finished, that like it opens up the door for that conversation.
It's like USC won the battle, but in the long game, did Colorado actually win? By coming on and doing what they did late in that football game.
Yeah, I think they did. And it was impressive. Okay, and they lost. They lost the game. They it never felt like USC wasn't going to win the football game, right? But I'll give Deion Sanders and those players credit, right? They got destroyed, embarrassed last week against Oregon, right? And they were getting smacked around in this one. But they kept playing, man. They kept swinging. They didn't fold. They had the chance to, and they didn't. That means something.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot about where a program is at, like the culture within the walls there in Boulder. That stood out to me. Now, they lost the game. But in a weird way, doesn't it kind of feel like they won?
Yeah, for long term, I think so. Because Colorado's already been better than I thought they were going to be, and I don't think anyone thought they were going to go win a championship this year. So, like, when you have all eyes on your football team and you're playing a top 10 opponent and you're kicking an onside kick at the end of the game to try and get possession to go win the thing or tie it up, then that ends up being pretty good.
Yeah. One last thing about this game. There was a punt in this game where I would have paid, I don't know how much money I would have paid to be sitting next to you watching it. Australian style, roll out to the right, punter. The dude holds it for what seemed like 5 seconds, Ted, and then kicks it super late. It just kicks it right into a guy from USC's arm. USC takes it immediately in a couple plays and goes scores a touchdown. I would have paid money to watch your reaction. Dude, it was just an asinine play. I would have paid money to watch you witness it live.
It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Like some things, like I understand the rule. The rule in college is stupid. Everyone can release downfield once the ball is snapped. So you take advantage on that by when they don't rush the putter, he dances around and runs to the side, and then he kicks some ridiculous end over end punt. It's just like some things we just don't lower ourselves to do, in my opinion, and that is one of them. Let's operate like a legitimate football team. You can say whatever you like. There's a bunch of things in college rule wise that need to be changed. That is one of them. We need to have the NFL's punt rules.
Agreed. All right, on to the next game. Kansas went to Austin and lost 40-14. A strong finish from the Longhorns. And hey, we find out at about 20 minutes before this thing kicks off that Jalen Daniels had re-aggravated his back in the morning. Live pulled after the game. He said he didn't know anything was wrong until they got to the game. What did he do? What did he do at the hotel to where he re-aggravated his back and couldn't start in the most important football game for Kansas in, I don't know, 15 years?
What? I don't know.
We need an answer. I wanted to watch Jalen Daniels, who is an electric factory. I wanted to watch him play against that Texas defense, and I was robbed of that. What happened? I want to know. I don't know if we'll ever know, but I want to know.
It doesn't sound like a back issue to me. right?
When the head coach is saying, we didn't know until we got to the game. What? That's so weird, man. That's weird.
It's a 2:30 kick. It wasn't an 11 a.m. kick. Even an 11 a.m. kick. Your starting quarterback, if he hurts his back, the first thing he's going to do is say, "Oh my God, where's the trainer? This game is huge. Like something's happened. What's going on here? Find someone instantly." And the first thing the trainer's going to do is tell the head coach, "Oh my God, our starting quarterback, our star player's back has locked up on him again. I don't know what we're going to do." Like that's all instant. Instant. This is shenanigans is what it is. I don't know if he was out drinking all night. I don't know what happened, but it ain't his back. Right? Am I crazy?
I mean, Leipold's a pretty straightforward guy. Like if Jalen Daniels didn't practice all week, I feel like Lance Leipold would have just said that. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's really weird. But that being said, really competitive first half in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas did a nice job of getting red zone stops. I mean, it was 13-7 at the half, right? They picked Ewers off right before the half. It's 13-7 going into the locker room, and it continued to be competitive. The start of the second half, Jonathan Brooks rips off that long touchdown run, but Kansas answers right back when Bean finds Trevor Wilson for the long TD. But the game seemed to completely change on one play. Kansas had 4th and 1 at their own 38. There's 4 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the third quarter. They ran triple option. Jason Bean is going to cruise to a first down conversion. Easy. Who knows? Maybe even it goes and scores if he ends up pitching the triple option. But Highshaw clamps on the ball on the dive. Bean tries to pull it. Highshaw doesn't let it go. Texas jumps on it. No conversion. Texas makes him play, goes and scores a touchdown. And Ted, it was all Longhorns the rest of the way. You hate to say, hey, that was the play that changed everything, but it kind of felt that way.
I was watching it when it happened, and I still feel the same way. There's no reason they should have gone for that.
I was surprised as well.
You're on your own 38. You're within a score. You've kept things clamped down. You're not in a shootout. You're in a low-scoring football game with Texas. You've got exactly what you want. You've been able to keep the lid on them for the most part. There's no reason to deflate your football team. You got plenty of time. It's a risk there's no reason to take at that point.
Yeah,
you've got to take some risks in that game to win it, but I just don't think that's the one.
I hear you, but it was there, man. If they just execute it, it's there. It's an easy first down, but
yeah,
woulda, coulda, shoulda stuff, right? Now, yeah. Texas did run the hell out of the ball. Even Quinn Ewers, hey, he's starting to, if you play man coverage and you turn your back and you're chasing all those wide receivers, like he's starting to recognize those situations, right? So I had the touchdown run early in the game, had another one where displayed a little speed diving for the pylon, but their run game, that offensive line was really solid on their double teams in zone. I mean, just moving the absolute hell out of Kansas's defensive linemen and put them in their backers' laps. I mean, a couple of those plays are really good stuff. A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worthy, that's a hell of a duo at wide receiver, man.
Yeah, they are.
They are. That's a talented duo.
Who's better? AD Mitchell or Worthy?
Mitchell.
That's what I think too.
He's bigger. He's a better route runner. He's more physical. But hey, Xavier Worthy can go, man.
Yep.
I mean, he is an explosive way. He is explosive play waiting to happen. I feel like AD Mitchell, though, he's dangerous no matter where you're at on the field. Huge red zone target, right? Good route runner. Like, and Xavier Worthy, when things get condensed a little bit, it does feel like his effectiveness drops a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Nope. I agree.
But I wish we had both of them. Hey, these guys can play. Couple things from this game as we start to look forward to OU Texas. JT Sanders got banged up in this one. Right. So it looked like, from everything I could find, looked like high ankle maybe.
He walked out of there, which is a good sign for him. But you often see that with those high ankles that guys kind of walk out of there and you feel like they're going to be okay. And for whatever reason, they just very slow to get back.
Yeah. So if he's out for that game, Texas has plenty of other weapons, right? But that guy's a stud. So we'll see. Texas's kicker, Bert Auburn, dude's struggling this season.
Yep.
Missing kicks. But it'll be, so that's just a couple things. And this was crazy. Texas's first 5-0 start since 2009.
Crazy.
Wow. So the Longhorns are playing well. Ewers is playing pretty well.
Yeah.
But
this is the first time since 2011 that we're both going to be undefeated going in.
Gonna be fun, man.
Crazy. It's going to be awesome.
The only other thing from that game is that first touchdown that Kansas scored where Jason Bean got blasted, fumbled, and high shot. It was like, I don't know if I've ever seen a play quite like that. The guy just gets blasted. It's a yard sale. The ball goes flying, and the running back just kind of scoops it up naturally and goes and runs for a touchdown.
He kept that pitch relationship all the way down the field.
Yeah.
That was great though. I mean, Bean, he can make you pay. They were just, they did a good job staying in it, just outmatched down the stretch. I still think Kansas is a really good football team.
Oh yeah. They're good. Right. I think that game's closer than the final score indicated, but
yeah.
Texas offensive line did control things pretty well.
How much better if Jalen Daniels was healthy? What's the difference in that game?
I think that's a game that comes down to the last couple possessions in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Right. We'll never know. The mysterious last-minute scratch of the Jayhawks starting quarterback. So weird, man. So strange. All right, last game. Notre Dame went to Duke, and they pulled it out late, 21-14. Now, when Sam Hartman chose Notre Dame, the question was, hey, is this guy going to be a difference maker at quarterback for him? Like a true difference maker. Right? And I didn't think he had the impact on the game he needed to have against Ohio State. But the play he made on 4th and 16 with 40-something seconds to go on the clock, absolutely fantastic. Buys time, and then decides, hey, let's go get in a car crash.
Yeah.
And he was ready. And I appreciate it, man, as a former old lineman, man, when the quarterback puts his body on the line like that, and he didn't take a big shot, but he thought he was going to take a big shot. And it was just obviously a huge play in the football game. Estime scores on the next play for the game winner. But the fact that Hartman was like, dude, let's lay it out on the line. Let's go. He also seems like he's getting more handsome. I don't know how that's happening, but it was the most important play of the game. And Ted, we may look back on it, and it may be the most important play of the season for Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah, just to keep everything alive for them. And that's a really good win. Duke is a really good football team. Yeah, the last sequence there, has to be so frustrating for Duke to give up that fourth down. And then it was so weird. Notre Dame it was pure panic mode before they ran that next play. Like pure panic. Sam Hartman's like running around like, what's the play? And everyone's like scrambling to get lined up. Receivers on the wrong side, barely get the ball off, and they go to the house.
And it's like he just weaves all through the trash.
Yep.
It was that play. It kind of felt like they were just setting up for a game-winning field goal, right? They got a really good kicker.
Yeah.
That play was significant to many.
Oof.
The 2-point conversion was even more significant, right? Spread was 5.5. Notre Dame converts the 2-point conversion to win by 7. How do the odds makers do this, man? They're sorcerers. It's unbelievable.
Yep. It's crazy. And it's just, and this is why you love college football, but I mean, you also like feel for these guys, like the roller coaster of emotions of, oh my God, we're going to beat Notre Dame. And then like in 2 plays, no, we're not. And then we may lose our quarterback. Like all in like just this in sequence is like, has our whole season just fallen apart? It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's how it felt, right? And remember that game-winning drive for Notre Dame that started on their own 5. Yeah. I remember Riley Leonard pooch punts it, does a great job, doesn't kick it through the end zone. Way to go, Riley Leonard. And they go 95 to go and win the football game. And Duke had all the momentum when they scored to make it 14-13 too. Just couldn't finish the job, man. Elko's doing a hell of a job, but you mentioned it. Riley Leonard goes down on the last play of the game, and he was in some serious pain. The way he got rolled up, it reminds me of an O-lineman. Reminds me of high ankle MCL. That's my prognosis. Ted, I've seen it a ton.
Looked a lot like that Davis Bevel play from early in the season. It looked bad. I thought at first, I watched it and as it was unfolded, I was like, I think the quarterback just broke his leg. It looked ugly. So hopefully he's okay.
Hopefully he's all right. It was cool. Did you see Hartman wait for him after the game? That was cool. He continues to win the hearts of America. That handsome bastard.
That's clutch though, man. That drive, the pulling it down and running for it. I feel for Duke, man. God, that roller coaster is just miserable.
Well, you mentioned this when we were talking about OU and the special team stuff, like not coming back to bite us yet.
Mm-hmm.
It killed Duke, gave up a fake punt on the first drive of the game that ended up in a touchdown for Notre Dame. They missed 2 field goals. They had a 21-yard punt in this game. I mean, special teams were not their friend in this one. And then the last thought I have on this game, where we need whoever Notre Dame offers at tight end, we just need to go and offer the same guys.
We did. We took one of them.
I mean, but wait, Mitchell Evans, the dude is a stud. I mean, he looked like the best damn player on the field. Can we get a guy like that, please?
We look at
I don't care where they come from. I don't care. East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. I don't care. Go find them. Everyone else has awesome tight ends.
I don't know how awesome they are as much as people just don't cover them.
I mean, I don't know, dude. He had some sick catches in this game.
No, that's true. But, you got a guy, Georgia has a guy that's, maybe going to be up for the Heisman playing tight end, and he's running around free all over the field against Auburn. Like, no one even in the screen with him. Tough.
Just all I'm asking you, can we just get one? That's all I'm saying. Now, the recruiting, I know. The recruiting got a couple guys that are on track to come in. But, yeah, I continue to watch these games. These teams have these tight ends. Dang it.
It's fun. It's a having a pass catching tight end is it's huge for the offense. Huge. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, if they can do everything, it's even like the more you get from them, the better. But yeah, it's a matchup problem for sure.